Life can change in a split second. And these near misses prove it. From planes almost falling from the sky, to extreme sports, and to car drivers dodging death by inches and seconds.
Oh my God!
These are 1 in a million near misses you won't believe, except they were caught on camera.
Wow! Wow, that was close!
And number 7, it left even professionals speechless. Let's get it on. On March 1st, 2008, passengers on the Lufthansa Flight 044 thought they were going to land safely in Hamburg, Germany. But what happened next gave them all a fright. As the plane tried to descend, heavy crosswinds slammed into the aircraft and the plane struggled to stay on air. Suddenly, the plane shifted sideways, and in front of onlookers, its left wing dipped so low it clipped the runway. For some terrifying seconds, it looked like the plane was about to plunge into a disaster. Inside, passengers screamed and panicked as the plane struggled violently. But seconds before a crash, the pilot pushed the engines to full power, aborted landing, and pulled the aircraft back into the sky. The A320 plane circled around for a bit before managing to safe land on a second attempt. What could have been a deadly crash turned into one of the most unforgettable near misses in the history of aviation. And if that didn't already have you at the edge of your seats, wait till you see what happened when a truck lost control. 2 road workers were carrying out their routine duties, one on the truck lift, the other on the ground. But routine work turned into disaster instantly. An 18-wheeler approached, and despite clear warnings from the road worker down to slow down, the driver failed to. Dashcam footage showed the wheeler drifting too close, the trailer clipping the edge of the lift, destroying the machine, and it looked like the worker would be crushed or thrown to the ground. The man, in a near miss, was left hanging in the air as the truck passed without slowing down until the damage was done. The lift suffered the impact, leaving the man shaken but alive. And if that near miss gave you chills, this next one on the air and with a parachute malfunction is harder to watch. The skydiver thought this was his usual skydive until something went wrong and his parachute malfunctioned. The skydiver deployed his parachute, and instead of opening easily in a matter of seconds, the canopy twisted and tangled, spinning him violently in the air. It looked like a solvable situation until it got worse. His reserve parachute, the last safety move he could pull, became entangled with the failing main canopy. With the 2 parachutes both compromised and the ground getting closer and closer Ruth every passing second, the skydiver's survival has hanging on a thread. Panicking, yet trying to save his life, the skydiver tried to cut away the twisted lines, when suddenly the reserve snapped free and caught air as he slowed down just enough to land in one piece.
Yeah, there we go.
1 second later, and it would have been a tragedy. If you thought that was sheer luck, the next one was nature's fury, and too close of a call. In the Swiss Alps, near Davos, a group of 5 skiers were skiing even though the day before there was a very strong wind. The first skier went down, skiing through the snow safely. There was no indication of the danger about to befall them. Then, the other skier went off, following the same movements of the first, when suddenly he began to struggle with the snow and went into a backseat position too much, affecting his skiing. This struggle is normal for a skier, but this was not just any normal struggle. Another POV from the first skier showed her screaming to alert him of the impending doom. The snow was breaking down, unleashing a dangerous avalanche, but he could not hear the warnings or the disaster about to happen behind him. The avalanche broke, catching him unawares. Skier 1 was safe. Skier 3 was safe using her backpack activation. Skier 4 managed to make it out. He wasn't safe, but where was Skier 2? Gaining control of the snow quickly, he goes in search of Skier 2, only to find her buried underneath the snow and unable to move.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, breathe. Don't move.
They quickly get to work before time runs out, digging through the snow to get her out of danger. This would have quickly gone south if the skiers were not prepared and with sharp thinking, but this was a near miss, saved by skills, but was the next one simply sharp reflex or lucky day? It was a normal morning on the highway. Some construction workers were doing their work when, without any warning, an SUV lost control, veering straight into the work zone. A dash cam showed the exact terrifying moment. The vehicle drove straight toward the worker standing near the lane and seconds away from direct impact. Instincts and reflex kicked in as the man leapt back at the very last possible second. In split seconds of what some may consider luck, the SUV moved past him, hitting the concrete barrier instead, crashing and finally slamming down on the driver's side as the other workers and other drivers stared in shock. One step slower and both the worker and the driver could have been killed.
A lot goes through your head all at once. I was really more concerned about being able to see my daughter and my wife again more than anything else.
And if that escape had your heart racing, the next one happened on a field and could have caused terrible injuries. At the Memorial Tournament in Ohio, Jordan Spieth was playing rough on the first hole. His swing looked solid, and no one expected what happened next. The ball launched off his club face at the wrong angle, going straight into the crowd and towards the fans who were close to his target line. There were gasps and there was movement as fans ducked in fear to avoid being injured or killed by the shot. If the shot had been a little lower or higher, it could have hit a fan and caused serious injuries. Thankfully, no one got hit, and Spieth recovered well enough to save par. It was a close call, but could have easily turned a mistake into a tragedy. This near miss had fans holding their breath, but this next one, it almost put a whole crew in danger. On the final lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Esteban Ocon drove into the pits for a mandatory tire change at full speed, but the lanes weren't empty. Dozens of photographers and FIA staffs had already started crowding the pit entry, preparing for the podium and unaware that a car was still racing in. Ocon blasted at full speed, almost hitting the onlookers and braking hard as people scattered in panic. For some seconds, the pit lane was rowdy as he kept trying to avoid hitting people, and people kept leaping away from his line of sight. It was a near miss because one wrong step and someone would have been crushed beneath the Alpine. But with skill and precision, Ocon managed to avoid impact with the crowd.
I mean, it scared me. I'm in control in the car, but, I would not have been the one, would not have liked to be the one in the middle of the pit lane there.
It was a miss that left Ocon, fans and officials stunned, forcing Formula One to change pit lane rules immediately.
Total and utter shambles of organisation, and somebody should have known.
From planes nearly crashing, avalanches burying skiers, to highway accidents, these one-in-a-million near misses show just how quickly things can change and turn lucky. Which of these near misses shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and please leave a like and subscribe to stay tuned for more unbelievable, real-life footage coming your way.